Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Edward III and we get to hear from the Countess of Salisbury today, kicking off Act 1, Scene 2. So real quick, what happened in Act 1, Scene 1? Edward found out that he might be the proper heir to the throne of France. The French king wants Edward to come and swear a fealty. Edward's like, nope, we're going to have a war instead and I'll win over France. And then he checked in to see what was happening in Scotland, and even though a sort of truce had been called and he started pulling back some of his troops, the Scots have started to be more aggressive and invade again. So Edward has sent a lot of his guys out to muster an army so that they'll be prepared to fight against France, while he himself has decided that he's going to go fight King David in Scotland. Also in part because they have taken the Countess of Salisbury hostage. She is the daughter of the Earl of Warwick, who is on Edward's side. So yeah, that was pretty much it. And Prince Edward is very excited that he's going to get to go fight some wars. So we kick off Act 1, Scene 2 with the Countess of Salisbury, where she is being held sort of captive. And she gets a moment to herself on the stage and says, "Alas, how much in vain my poor eyes gaze for succor that my sovereign should send. Oh, cousin Montague, I fear thou wants the lively spirit shapely to solicit with vehement suit the king in my behalf. Thou dost not tell him what a grief it is to be the scornful captive to a Scot, either to be wooed with broad untuned oaths, or forced by rough insulting barbarism. Thou dost not tell him, if he here prevail, how much they will deride us in the north, and in their vile, uncivil, skipping gigs brave forth their conquest and our overthrow, even in the barren, bleak, and fruitless air. I must withdraw. The everlasting foe comes to the wall. I'll closely step aside and list their babble blunt and full of pride." So the first half of this, she's complaining about being a Scottish prisoner and how miserable it is to be a Scottish prisoner, and she's a little bit upset that it was Montague that is carrying word back to King Edward that she has been taken captive, because she doesn't think that Montague is going to lean into how terrible it is to be a Scottish prisoner as much as is deserved in that respect. And she's also like, and he's not going to emphasize enough to King Edward how terrible it's going to be for our reputation if the Scottish people win this war. We're never going to live it down. So he needs to be, like, she wishes that someone with more spirit, more gumption, more drive was the one that was imploring King Edward to come and help her, as opposed to cousin Montague. But then King David and Douglas and Lorraine enter, and she's like, "Oh, I got to stand over here, and I'm just gonna listen. I'm just gonna listen to their chat and see what it is that they say. It's probably gonna be stupid and prideful, whatever. But I can't let them see me. I'm just gonna listen in." So she goes to hide, and then King David begins that blunt babble full of pride in tomorrow's monologue. So I'll see you then for that. Mwah.